What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to go over a new platform that we're using to generate contacts for our cold email campaigns. So if you ever had an issue with maybe not getting the best data for your cold email campaigns, or you know that that's the limiting factor, this is definitely going to be useful for you. Whether you target local businesses, e-commerce companies, service-based businesses, it doesn't matter. It's an all-in-one solution, so you can find the right company, the right person at that company, their proper contact information, and enrich that person's profile so that you're able to personalize a message to them at scale, right? So like I said, if you do anything from targeting local businesses, software companies, marketing agencies, logistics companies, it doesn't matter. If you are sending cold emails and you need more contacts to send to or higher quality data, this is going to help you out. So like I mentioned, it's called Databar. Now let me pull up the interface here for you so you can see my screen. And just to kind of compare, first off, the pricing of like how this actually works. So they have like a very easy launch package, but they also have a scale and an expand package. This one is actually pretty good. The good part about this is that they have CRM and email integration right away, and you can right away add your API keys, right? So you can go above the actual usage if you just use the actual API key of the software that you're using, the extension. So this one, it's pretty good pricing, $130, 8,000 credits a month, and they also have enterprise options. Now, if you compare that to something like Clay, the one thing, Clay is just cheap or more expensive out the gate, but they also have this thing where you can't use your API keys until the higher packages, right? So you end up having to spend a lot more even if you're not sending that many emails, you end up kind of being forced to upgrade, which doesn't happen with Databar. So the pricing is pretty good on Databar, but kind of going into the actual features, they're still really, really good. And this is kind of how it looks when you just log in. And here's the existing tables that you have, right? And then here's the charts, the integrations, and you have your previous tables open, right? Now, first things first, how do you actually import the data, right? So the first step is always okay, how do I get the companies that I'm trying to reach out to so that later on I can actually enrich it with the proper decision makers? So here you have a few different options. Either one, you could just start a blank table. You can import the data from a CSV. So if you have the data already, you can import that, or you can start with a template. Now, the really cool things with these templates is they're pre-built, so they're really easy to use, but the actual angles that you're able to use within your emails when using these are pretty unique, right? So you can find all these LinkedIn job board funnels, right? You can find the funding phases. You can find the company logos and all their marketing materials, right? They have a scenario for basically anything you could imagine, like a conference follow-up. You can check their website status codes. So for example, if you're an SEO or more a web design agency, you can check their website status codes and see that, okay, they have a 404 page here, or maybe there's this redirect is structured improperly, all those different things. So really, really unique angles that you can come in the email with, right? Company ad spend, right? You can see all of these different things. One really cool one is the YouTube, right? So if you're looking to reach out to YouTubers, if you own a video design agency, this is really strong. LinkedIn ad analysis. So if you're a LinkedIn ads agency and you're looking for people who are already running ads to reach out to them to optimize it, this is a great thing to do. You can do Reddit, right? You can check the SEO metrics again for SEO agencies. Really, really neat stuff here. And there's all these templates here as well. So that's another way that you can create database, or at least a table to start working with, right? Now, another thing that you can do is you can scrape a website, right? So they have website scrapers here. So Google Hotels, the search engine results page, Google Maps, all these e-commerce databases. So if you're looking to target Walmart brands, or Amazon brands, or all these other scrapers, super, super niche scrapers that they have, right? Flight search, YouTube search, X posts, which not a lot of people support anything with Twitter nowadays. Trustpilot, Zillow, store leads, these are really, really useful things depending on what industries you're in, right? So they're very niche use cases. Another thing, they have these databases here. So Ocean is a very expensive database, but it's very good for lookalike companies. But you can access it through here. Built with TechCrunch, all these different databases that you have access to now through this, right? Trustpilot is a really cool thing to do, right? So you can search for specific industries on Trustpilot and do that. You can also just do a normal Apollo search through this. So really the possibilities are endless with this. And the coolest part about this and how we use it in the agency is that there are niche use cases for it, right? So for example, the flights, right? The Google Flights, the Google Maps, right? The TechCrunch, the Hacker News, right? All those websites are very niche, and that helps a lot with being able to create relevant email campaigns. Another thing is here they have these pre-existing or pre-built databases. So one, for example, is all the Y Combinator companies, all the companies in the Dow Jones. Now this is only 30, right? But you can find a lot of people within there. Also, you can see all the crypto exchanges, 87 wholesome brands on fair.com. So e-commerce brands, which is crazy. 87,000 e-commerce brands you can have, right? And you literally, like, it's as simple as this. It creates the database, and in a few moments, it'll be here, right? Another one that they have is they have all these SaaS companies, right? So you can literally just reach out to all of these companies, right? 25,000, right? Pre-built, and you can segment them. You can research it. You have all of these pre-built, right? Options here to enrich it. So it's super cool. If you're emailing, you can do it by email, right? If you're calling these people, you can call them. You can do all these different things, and there's so much more as well that you can do here, right? This is kind of like going a little more in depth into like how it actually looks on the back end, but you can see all of this company information. You can get the company info. So let's say, for example, get the company info here. You could do a waterfall, or you can do through one specific database, right? First name. Okay, so it's not going to get the first name, but what you would first have to do is find the decision maker. So this is just the company info. First, you would have to find the actual decision maker, which there's an option for that as well to get. And then after that, you would be able to enrich that and find the actual person, right? So like I said, you can take a look here, and the possibilities are really endless. You can get really creative with that. And another cool thing is you can, like I mentioned before, you can just add it directly to your sending tool, right? So you can just forward that directly to your Smart Lead, or directly to HubSpot, directly to Instantly, right? Which is great, right? Like all these very, very niche things. And this is just a pre-built one, right? This is going to take a while to load, I'm guessing, because it's a lot. Yeah, so you have all of these e-commerce brands. First, you would enrich for company website. Then from the company website, you can find all the decision makers, everything like that, and then segment it, right? So you have like multiple industries, stuff like that. So it's a really interesting way to do it. So let me go back here to find leads. All right, so you have all these different options here. Oh yeah, I think I already went through this here. Okay, so yeah, you have these, you have the Toronto Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, you have institutional stock investors, right? Breweries, like super niche things. This is that SaaS company database that I was talking about. So like really, really niche things here that are very useful. So that's that. Now, after that, like I mentioned, you have all these different things. You can look for local businesses. So you can use OpenMart, or you can use Google Maps. So it really just depends on what you're looking for, but it's a really strong platform here. You can see all of these Trustpilots. So for example, I ran a query to Trustpilot to search for, I forgot, this is Amazon agencies, right? So you can see all of these Amazon agencies, 200 rows. You can pick however much you like, right? And these are from Trustpilot, Amazon agencies. And I literally, like, if you saw, it took me 30 seconds to make this list. And then I could just add more and then just get their email, right? Ideally, I don't target these info at emails. I just find the actual owner or decision maker at these companies. But it's so stupid easy. It's really, really easy. Another cool thing that I wanted to show you guys is finding email or the mobile phone numbers from LinkedIn profiles. So like, for example, if I go on LinkedIn and I want to find this guy's phone number, I'm just going to copy his link, right? And it's going to enrich it right away. So if you're warm calling, you can add this to your workflow. If you just want to cold call these people, you can add this to your workflow. And it's super easy, right? I just did it right then and there. And another thing that I wanted to show you guys is how it actually looks when you scrape the local businesses. So for example, here I was looking for dispensaries in all of these states. And what it did is, for example, it just scraped all of the ones from Google Maps, like the actual search output. And you can go here, you can write the data to another table, or I just want to show you guys the actual data, like how it looks. All right, so you go here, you can open it as a table here, and you can just see the city, the logo, the name, right? All of these are dispensaries, perfect fits for what I was reaching out for. You have their phone numbers and all of this information, address, everything that you might need. And this literally took me like a minute, right? For all of these different places, right? So you just go here, JSON table, right? You can really manipulate the data however you like. You can after this, you can take it to another table. You can find the email address of the owner, stuff like that. So it's a really, really neat option there, right? And the cool thing about this is, okay, so let's say that you get the website, you get the decision maker, you get their email info, you verify it all within here, you enrich it so you have some sort of personalization. After that, you can just export it, or you can just directly integrate that into your email sending platform. So it's seamless. And let's say you added more leads, it can automatically enrich it and automatically add it to your sequences, which is great because basically you don't have to like mess around with the CSV files. You don't have to do all of that. And once you're launching a decent amount of campaigns, that becomes a hassle and prone for errors. So I highly recommend it. It's super easy to use and build out. And like I said, it has these niche use cases that are very useful depending on who you're targeting. So I highly recommend you give it a try. There's going to be a link in the description. You can check it out. They have like a free trial or something like that, and you can see how it works for you. So appreciate you watching. Hope this helps. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.